negative decisions.
Well, let's find out how the international communities responded to the changes at Treasury. Our UK correspondent Olly Barratt joins us now from London. Olly, a very good morning to you. And if you've been hearing, or like you've been hearing, the appointment of Tito Mboweni as a new finance minister has been largely welcomed here. What's been the reaction over there on your side and, of course, elsewhere in Europe?
Yeah, clearly one of the obvious ways to look at this is via the currency markets. Much of the international flow on the currency markets comes through London, the British capital, a real foreign currency hub. And the currency markets and those people invested on the currency markets do appear to be reassured by the change in finance minister this time around in South Africa. We always trot out the cliche, but it's certainly true that what investors hate is uncertainty. And clearly with all the rumours swirling around Mr. Nene's future, that was taking a bit of a toll on the rand against a basket of international currencies, including pound sterling, but also the US dollar as well. And we did see, as it appeared to become clear that the finance minister was going to change in South Africa, that Mr. Ramaphosa was going to accept that Mr. Nene resignation, we did see some firming up in the rand on international currency markets. We've continued to see some of that since the name of the next finance chief was named as well. A bit of certainty being injected there, a bit of further certainty. So I think for most international investors, they are looking on and they are taking the certainty of the new name, Mr. Mboweni, but they're also looking at that name and seeing that he has clear former experience in this sphere, considered to be a safe of hands by most international investors. So, yeah, I think here in London, but also on the international markets, we're seeing a pretty happy response to what has taken place. As I say, uncertainty is always the worst fear for investors, and now they have the new name, they know who the finance minister is going to be, but crucially also they have a bit of a sense of who that man is and his track record when it comes to finance and international markets.
Well, there might be certainty over that and maybe some relief over that, Olly, but certainly, you know, when it comes to the Nhlanhla Nene issue, I mean, that knocked many of us here for a six when we heard that, especially when we thought this was a man who was clean. I mean, obviously we still don't know the details of it, but there was no doubt, there was no shadow over him. So might that not also just maybe pose some questions for investors on that side to say, you know, Cyril Ramaphosa came to us saying he's rooting out corruption, he's cleaning up, he's bringing good men and women to the table, asking for us, asking for our money, asking for us to invest. But, you know, how could this have happened? How could you have somebody who has point-blank denied any dealings with this controversial family, then this happens? Does that not cause some uncertainty in that way, though, for investors?
Yeah, I think that's a really important point. And Mr. Nene, when he had been here a couple of times for investor roadshows here in London to try and drum up some of that crucial foreign investment that Mr. Ramaphosa wants to get inwards into the South African economy, he had presented himself as part of that new broom, part of that new administration, which was going to be clean, which was going to be different, which was going to commit itself to getting the economy moving again and completely rooting out corruption. So certainly for those investors who have met the former finance minister Nene here in London during that period of the new administration under President Ramaphosa, they will be certainly rocked by the fact that he was presented to them as a clean figure, and we've now seen this scandal unfold. So, yeah, that will certainly be in the back of their minds. The other thing that's interesting, of course, is that when Mr. Nene came here, trying to find foreign investment, trying to reassure international investors that South Africa was a good place to invest. And he was talking to them about economic growth. Well, since that period, of course, South Africa slipped back into recession. So, yes, there are areas of uncertainty. Yes, there are areas of concern about the South African economy. But certainly Mr. Nene, when he was here on those investor roadshows, spoke of optimism around the international investing community, those people here in London, based here in London, who do have money to put into the South African economy. He did talk about the fact that he was being well received as part of the new administration. So I think many investors will see the new finance minister as part of that new administration. They will have that optimism in the back of their minds, but still those concerns about stability, still those concerns about the direction of travel of the South African economy. Of course, a weak rand can, for many investors, make further attractive investment opportunities in South Africa. But at the same time, most investors do want to see an economy that is growing and is healthy and has opportunities for growth.
Thanks very much, Olly Barratt there in London, just bringing us some international reaction to the changes we saw at Treasury. Tito Mboweni, now our new finance minister.